Hey lovies, this is Love from Level Up Consulting Firm, and today I'm going to be speaking about the pain of regret. The pain of regret. So when you're thinking about what you want to do, what you want to be, who you want to serve, what kind of clients you want to have, consider the pain of regret when you make these decisions, right? Not on acting what's going to happen if you act, but what's going to happen if you don't. There are a lot of older men and women who let the time just pass them away. Ask some of these old heads that you see out at the corner store. Ask some of these people in your family that you know weren't able to pursue their dreams for whatever reason. Ask them so that you can understand the pain of regret and you won't repeat the same mistakes. So I'm going to dive right into this video. You don't have to be great to get started, but you have to be started to be great. That's a quote by Les Brown. And I love that quote so much. It's actually one of my favorites because people are just afraid to take that first step. And what you don't know is that after you take that first step, just the first one, that's all it takes. That one step is what propels the rest of them. I had no idea I would be a public speaker. I had no idea I was going to start a consulting firm. I had no idea I was actually going to own and operate my own business. Who knew? I've always said, oh, I want to have my own business. I want to have my own business. I've been saying that since about high school. But I never knew what industry I was going to go into. I never knew I would fall in love with mental health. I never knew that I would fall in love with empowering people to love themselves better and to speak up for themselves. Because, see, I was one of those little girls who didn't have a voice. When I was younger, I used to get picked on so much. I was very quiet, very chill. I grew up with both parents. Our family was very conservative. And so I didn't walk out the house with the most luxurious clothes on. My family didn't place value on things like that. But unfortunately, in the majority of the Black community, that's looked down upon. Like you have to have name brand this and name brand that. And I didn't realize it then, but as I got older, I realized they were the ones who really didn't have any money. They were the ones whose families were barely making ends meet. I remember in the 4th grade being the only one who had a father in the home. I was different. I was academically gifted, intellectually gifted. I took some gifted classes. And I never wanted to be pulled out of class and be different, be set apart, because I felt like I wanted to be around my friends, right? Like any other child would. I wish I had somebody to pour into me at that time and let me know it's okay to be different. It's okay to be smart. It's okay to set yourself apart. I didn't know. And had I had that accountability, who knows where I would have been. The pain of regret. And I was young. This is elementary school that I'm referring to. And then as I got older and I started to experience more and the hormones kicked in, I made a lot of other mistakes just like other teenagers do, right? But one thing I never did was give up. One thing I've never done was stop. I always had it in my head that I have to keep going. And to avoid the pain of regret, that's what you need. You need to tell yourself that it's not an option to stop. People always say failure's not an option. Failure's not an option. Failure is inevitable. Mistakes, failure, that's a sign that you're trying, that you're going towards something. You're going to have failures. I told you guys about my first event. Nobody showed up. There was a misunderstanding between my friend and I. She's like, oh, love, I didn't know you actually wanted me to invite people. I thought you were going to bring the people. I'm like, girl. But it was a learning experience. And that's what you have to take from this. Stop looking at every situation like it's meant to break you down, meant to tear you down, or like it's not meant to be because it didn't work the first time. Try again. Do you know how many times I applied for a graduate assistantship before I actually got one? Probably 3, if not more. I wanted one so bad. I'm like, I don't want to work full time. I want to have a stipend that can help me pay these bills, keep me looking cute because I like to have my nails and my hair done, right? I need a stipend so I can have peace of mind, so I can focus solely on my studies and I won't have to work full time like the majority of my counterparts. I set that life up for myself. I wanted it and I got it. Everything I want, I get. Believe that. Everything I want, I get. You have to have that mentality where you're like, I won't take no for an answer. Yes, failure is an option because when they say no, that feels like failure. When that next person says no, that feels like failure. But I keep going. Stopping is not an option. Winners never quit and quitters never win. How you gonna win the fight if you tap out? You can't. It's impossible. You can't win the fight if you tap out. Stay in there. Stay focused. It's on you. The game's on you. And a lot of you guys make a lot of excuses for yourself. Oh, well, I tried this, but it didn't work. I used to work in the career center on campus, and I was a career counselor. And I did not necessarily academic advising, but I did speak with students about their academics because I think that's just as important, if not more important, than what job you're going to have afterwards. Because if you don't graduate and get this degree for the job, you won't have the job, right? And I would be speaking with them about their academics, and I had people say, oh yeah, well, I applied for a job, but I didn't get it. I'm like, okay, so what'd you do after that? I just went home. I decided to go home and just kind of chill for the summer. You did what? Chill for the summer and you wanted to make some money this summer and you just gave up. Tighten up. You have to get your priorities straight. Let me tell you something. A lot of you guys are making excuses for yourselves and you're sort of dragging your feet and moving slow because you feel like you have it all figured out. Oh yeah, I'm in school right now. Everything should be fine. Look at this pandemic. You're not in school right now. Now you're at home. So now what? Because see, if you would have started that business a month ago, 2 months ago, guess what? You would have something to fall back on. You would have something to focus on. You would have something to channel your energy into. And you still do because you can still start it, right? But you don't have access to the same people. You don't have access to all of the same resources that you had access to before. You can't go to the writing and speaking studio in the office and get that hands-on learning that you want. Now you have to be online. Do you understand what I'm saying? When you don't make decisions, life will make choices for you. And it's unfortunate. Sometimes life makes decisions for us that we didn't necessarily want to make. Sometimes we weren't ready to make that move. Sometimes it wasn't a move that we were willing to make, period. But that's how life works. And so as much as you can control and as much as you can be in control of yourself, you need to be. Don't let life pass you by. Stay focused. Keep going. Write down a plan, get a goal. I'm telling you, you do not want life to pass you by and you be able to say, dang, I wish I would have done this. I wish I would have done that. The most regret I hear normally comes from young mothers. They say, I love my children, but I wish I would have waited a little bit longer. The pain of regret. Don't let it be you. And it doesn't have to be you. This is Love from Level Up Consulting Firm. My information is in the description box. Bye.